go. Good morning. I wanted to start off today just talking a little bit about discomfort because there's quite a bit of it happening in our world today. And some of it comes from COVID fear, and some of it's coming from the social injustice that we're seeing in the world. And I want to talk about discomfort and its like meandering movement through trauma. So that's discomfort kind of settles into ourselves and it doesn't sit right. That's how we experience it. And just coming into the studio this morning and speaking to Jody, we both talked about a situation that we felt discomfort in. And then we talked about how we dealt with it. I wrote and I processed. And when I was done writing, I could feel that discomfort dissipate, relax from my body. Jody's experience was that she talked, she communicated, and in that communication had to say some things that felt uncomfortable. She had to acknowledge some things that felt uncomfortable. And after the conversation, she felt it dissipated. Now, what happens when we don't take that thing that isn't sitting right and deal with it, it tries to find a place to just kind of hide away in our body and stash. And it becomes samskara, right? It becomes that imprint in us. And when it is not dissipated, when it is not released energetically from our body, it gets stuck in there. So that when you breathe, your breath is blocked. When you move, there's a pain somewhere that gets sticky and tight and itchy and, clunky somewhere. And this is how our physical body starts to manifest all these moments of discomfort. Sometimes these moments are huge traumas that happen to us. And we see clearly how that creates the result in our physical body. But we often don't notice that the small little discomforts are things that we need to deal with. Because if we deal with them when they're small, if we have the conversation, if we process the thought, if we do the writing or whatever it is for you, then it dissipates. So let's take that to the mat this morning. Let's go to the mat and notice what's uncomfortable. Maybe it's something uncomfortable in how we're being perceived in the world, how we feel like we're showing up in the world, how we're being perceived right now. And that doesn't feel comfortable. Our ego's not happy with it. Let's take that to the mat. Let's work it out. Let's find out if there's a way that we can release it. Okay? So come on. Bring yourself to your seated or lying position. I want you to close your eyes. Just talking about it, I can feel that discomfort again. Take a deep breath. Feel the distance between the base of you and the top. Your long, slow breath moving in and out of the body. Just notice that breath today. Is it long and smooth? Is it short and quivery? Does it feel kind of like it gets stuck at the end? Does that exhale feel complete? We just come to this first. Our breath, our first teacher, our first point of contact where we can check in on how we're doing. This essential daily practice of checking in. Moving through the body to process everything that we are ingesting, everything that we're consuming, everything that we are taking in. Coming to our body to help it move through, to be an assistant in transforming that energy, transforming that fuel, that consumption, that stuff that we've taken in. And so to me, the movements that we make on the mat aren't important. The important part is the translation, the assistance that you are giving your body, that you are giving your breath in digesting all that it is that we have consumed, so that it doesn't stay stuck in us. It doesn't stay lodged, creating further symptoms and discomfort and pain and disease. So we come to the mat to process. Come to your hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide. Let your knees be underneath your hips. Begin to just move up and down your spine. Aware of the places that feel tight and sticky. Inviting your breath to just dislodge, soften. We don't even have to have an awareness of or cognition of what it is that's uncomfortable. We just need to go through the physical body here and notice sensation. Let the spine now go from side to side, rocking the ribs open to the right, rocking the ribs over to the left. Notice if one side feels different than the other. Let the spine go in big round circles. And the other way. And come back to center, and then just reach through that right hand, left heel, stretching as if the distance between the fingertip and the heel was important. Find that nice long line, letting your breath extend. As you exhale, let's crunch the elbow towards the knee, and then inhale and reach long again. Coming out of that side, extending the left fingers and right heel. Stretch, expanding, as if you could create another centimeter out of that distance. Find a long breath, and as you exhale, bring elbow to knee, taking a few extensions back and forth of that movement. Just inviting breath deeper into the body, doing a deeper investigation of where strength and control and balance all sit in you today. One more. Letting those hands come right down to the mat again. Back toes curl under, down into a downward dog. Press the tailbone to the sky. Let your heels paddle. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. Feel the distance there as you strengthen that upper back. Notice the discomfort in the back of your legs as we're constantly lengthening and releasing the calves and the hamstrings. Hips can sway. Perhaps you're noticing what today feels like compared to yesterday. Gaze forward to the thumbs. Bend your knees. Let's bring the feet to the hands. Up to tabletop. Back down into a deep fold. Inhale, the fingers come all the way up to the sky. And exhale, hands come to heart. Big breath in, hands to sky. Maybe clasp those hands above your head and lean to the right. Come all the way up to center and lean to the left. Breathe in again. Feel the side body from the ankle all the way up through the hip and armpit, down to the pinky finger. One more time. Big forward fold. Hands to shins again, nice long flat back. Let's exhale, put hands to the floor and bring your body back to plank. Just notice this plank. You can drop to forearms or knees. Expand, extend. Feel like you lengthen forward with your chest, even as the heels and backs of your legs lift high. Breathe. Breathe. Feel the contact to the earth. Slowly lower down. You can plant and do a little cobra. You can sweep through and allow yourself to move to an up dog. Curling your toes under, we move to downward dog. You can always choose a child's pose here as well. Breathe. Yeah. Paddle the heels, sway. Nice. Gaze forward to your thumbs, bend your knees. I want you to take your right foot and step it forward between your hands. Beautiful. Ground there. Notice if that back toe, ball of the foot can just feel confident lunging into the floor. Inhale, bring the hands to the thigh or all the way to the sky. Sink in. Let the front knee reach forward. The hips sink down. Arms draw into the shoulder socket. Float the fingers up. Breathe. Hands drop right down to your heart. Let's take the left elbow and roll it towards that right knee and come back up again. Can you make that movement and not let the left hip drop down? Find the twist in the spine. Gently drawing that left elbow towards right knee. Nice. Good. And then move forward, tent fingers on the floor. If you have blocks, feel free to use blocks. Left hand stays connected, right hand to hip. Oh, sorry, I'm going to put it on my thigh. And then roll up. Breathe. Breathe. Push through that back heel, extend through the top fingers. Beautiful. As you come down, let's connect. Right elbow to right thigh. Turn and rotate the back foot onto the floor and then sweep that left arm up and over the body. Stretch through the fingers. Press the back foot down into the mat. Breathe here. So good. Feel the connection of your elbow to that front thigh start to strengthen into the legs, into the torso so that elbow can get light. Let's open our arms. Find that wingspan. Stretch fingers to the ground, fingers to the sky. Breathe deep. Firm press into the feet and let yourself come all the way up. Toes point forward, hands to hips. Nice long spine, fold forward. Hands to the floor. Let the top of your head hang from the spine hanging from the hips. Fingertips can walk back in line with the toes if that feels available for you today. Top of your head dropping off the end of the spine, tractioning it down to the floor. Breathe. Breathe. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to walk my fingers all the way over to the left foot and find the lunge position on this side now. Pressing the right heel back behind me. Left knee bent over top of left ankle. As soon as I'm ready, the hands come up to the thigh or the sky. Press through that back heel. Reach the fingers to the sky, arms sinking into the shoulder sockets. Breathe, hips settling to the floor. Good. Hands drop down to your heart center. Right elbow can start to twist towards left knee. Can you do that without letting the right hip come with you? Let this twist be in the spine, working from the vertebrae in the low back all the way up to the thoracic before your neck. A little bit tippy today. Breathe. 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 Beautiful. Let yourself come up and then release fingertips to the floor, framing that front foot. Breathe there. Right hand stays connected. Left hand comes to thigh. Open the top shoulder and extend the left hand up to the ceiling. Press through that top hand. Reach from the crown of your head through the back heel. Lengthen as you open. Breathe. 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 Nice. Let's come down. Planting that left elbow onto the left thigh, roll the right foot into the ground, extend the right arm up and over. Find extended side angle, reaching through the top fingers, pressing that back foot down into the floor. Breathe here. Now firm your legs, firm the torso. Open the left hand to the floor, reach the top fingers to the ceiling. Breathe here. Modify everything you want to modify. You know the rules. Breathe. Firm press into the feet. You let yourself come all the way up and straighten that left leg. Toes point forward, hands to hips. Long flat back folds forward. Plant your hands. Choose if you're on fingertips. Choose if you want to have flat palms, walking them perhaps back in line with the toes, allowing the head to just drop off the top of your spine. Feel the vertebrae of your back drop out of the pelvis, cascading to the floor. The strength of your legs supporting you. Breathe here. Inhale, letting yourself come up to a nice flat back. Notice if your feet are the right distance for you to put, to be able to support coming to standing, or if you need to just move them in a tiny bit. And then let hands come to hips. Long flat back comes all the way up. Good work. Feet come together. Hands come down. Let's move through a sun salutation. I'm going to face the front of my mat again. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, big forward fold. Long flat back. Plant my hands, step to plank. Reach the body forward. Allow it to lower it to the floor. Choose a little cobra or an up dog. And then transition yourself to your downward dog. Know that a child's pose is always welcome here as well. Breathe. Breathe. And then gaze to your thumbs, bend your knees, and bring the feet forward to your hands. Inhale, hands all the way up to the sky. Bring them down to your heart. Lift hands up to sky. Exhale, hands fold forward. Long flat back. Release. Palms to ground. Body to plank. Lower down. Choose your back bend, little cobra or up dog. Back toes curl under, downward dog. Yeah. Gaze to your thumbs, bend your knees, bring your feet to your hands. Inhale, table. Exhale, fold. Bring hands to sky. As you let hands drop down to your heart, step back with your right foot. Push the heel down into the ground. Bring your left knee forward. Let fingers go all the way up to the sky again. Beautiful. Elbows open wide. Crack your chest open to the ceiling. Let your gaze move up. Breathe. A little bit vulnerable here. Just notice the feelings as you come into this little back bend. Good. Hands come right into your chest. Let the spine be straight. Lift off that back heel. Center your weight over the sole of your left foot and lift. Press through right heel. Fold forward, nice and flat from the heel to the back of the head. Yeah, choose your pose. Hands by your heart. Low V by your hips. Extended to the side or out in front of you. Reach through that back heel. Stretch through the fingertips. Breathe. 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 Hands come to heart. Let's bend the front knee. Step into the back heel. Inhale your hands to sky. And exhale to step forward. Big breath in. Hands to sky. Exhale, dropping them to your heart. Stepping back with the left. Right knee reaches forward. Breathe. Good. Hands open. That cowboy surrender pose, cracking the chest up towards the sky, letting your gaze move up. Notice that back bend. Stay bent in the front knee, grounded in both feet. Feel your breath flow here. Stay where the breath has that fluidity, has the smoothness. Notice the edge where you lose it. Breathe. Good. Hands come to heart. Weight shifts from back heel all the way down into the sole of the right foot, pressing up into the beginning of your warrior three, tipping forward. Stretching through back heel, reaching through the crown. Nice. Choosing how you might want to express your arms. Reach. Reach. Whatever version of this you're doing is perfect. That's what you're doing today. You're just exploring. Hands come back down into heart, front knee bends. Take that back foot to the floor. Inhale, hands to sky, and allow yourself to step forward. Full breath. Inhale, hands come all the way up to the sky. Deep forward fold. Long flat back. Plant, step to plank. Nice. From this plank pose, let's choose a side plank, dropping to the knee or keeping the legs straight. Find that pose. Take the top hand, let it flow over top, opening this top body, arcing it to the sky. Breathe. 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 Choose the other side, coming down. Perhaps you'll drop your left knee. Perhaps not. Arc that body, expanding and opening the side body and inviting breath into the strength, purpose, length of that side body. Breathe. Exhale, hands come down. Beautiful. Drop to your knees, spread them wide, stretch back into a child's pose. Feel that long extension. Top half of your spine reaching out to the fingertips. Bottom half of your spine stretching down through the sit bones. Shoulders relaxing to the floor. One more breath. Ground hands, lift up, curl toes, downward dog. Breathe. Paddle. Notice how this pose is feeling different as you go through things in your body today. As you bring breath and movement, how the pose in the body feels different, giving you different sensations. Gaze to your thumbs, bend your knees, bring the feet forward to the hands, table the back. Exhale and fold. Fingers come up to the sky and down to your heart. We're going to take a warrior 2 step back. For me, it's my left foot. Whatever lets you be able to see me. Take that foot back. Bend the front knee. Sweet. Shoulders drop down and away from the ears. Let your arms rise. I'm going to make fists first. Punching out through that fist. Really reminding my neck and shoulders this isn't their work to do. Finding the strength in my arms and then letting the fingers open. Breathe. Feel the spine vertical. The hips and that front thigh horizontal. Backhand falls to the back thigh. Open the side body. Reach up through. Nice. Exhale, come all the way forward and go to extended side angle. Back up. Exalted. And side angle. Nice. Exalted. Good. Windmill these hands all the way down. Step back to plank and lower. Lift into a back bend. Back toes curl under, downward dog. Couple of cleaning breaths here. Processing, moving, transforming. All this ama, all the build up, the sludge that has been undigestible in our systems. We're helping to move it, to digest it. Gaze forward to the thumbs, bend the knees, bring the feet to the hands. Tabletop the back. Exhale, fold. Breathe in all the way up to the sky. You're going to step forward with your opposite leg now. For me, it'll be the same. Okay, we'll come to the other side. Feet plant as you move into your warrior 2. That front knee bends, back foot plants into the floor. Open your arms up. Find the way that the arms hold themselves in space. The shoulders and neck don't crunch to the ears to do it. Lower your shoulders. Shake your head. Feel these biceps have to get involved. Maybe make fists, poke them. That really helps the line of muscles along your arms activate. Find extended fingers. Breathe. Warrior 2. Strong, focused, challenging. Yeah. Backhand drops to the back thigh. Fingers open up alongside you. Exalted warrior. And then sway directly to extended side angle. Back and forth. Yeah. Go as slowly as your breath wants you to go. Reaching. Nice. Yeah. All the way up. And then coming down, windmill your hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Reach the body forward. Allow yourself to come down all the way up into an upward dog. Back toes curl under. Downward dog. Nice work. Nice work. All right. Feet, gaze to hands, feet walk to hands. When you get yourself there, just bring yourself into that little squat. Your toes can touch, bring your ankles to touch, tent your fingers, and then notice if you can bring these hands up. Just allowing yourself to be on a toe stand. Breathe. Breathe. Good. Release those fingers to the floor. Shift your feet so you're walking them a bit wider. And then the hips get to sink down. You can stay if the hips don't want to go. You can stay here, elbows to thighs. Bum not all the way. If the bum will go all the way down, you can come to Malasana. Breathe here. Lifting the chest. Whichever pose you're in, you can be here and lifting the chest. Okay? It doesn't matter which version. Lift that chest. Breathe in. Feel the hips sink as low as they want to go. Nice. Downward grounding energy. Just reminding us that the answers can come from within if we are grounded. Good. You can roll that bum back to touch the floor. Extend the feet right out in front of you. Inhale, the fingers come all the way up to the sky. Exhale towards the toes. Inhale, hands to sky. Exhale, hands plant behind you. Inhale, lift your hips. Ground down. Hands to sky. Fold forward. Inhale up. Hands down. Lift hips. Release. Inhale up. Fold forward. Good work. One more time, hands up. Hands down. Let's hold this one as we lift. In this pose, if it feels okay for you to let the head drop back behind you, you can go ahead. Nice. Good work. Hips release. Bring one leg in, whichever one lets you see the camera better, I guess. Bottom heel grounds down. Front shin is bent. Plant your back hand and then open up into that side body again. Breathe. Just a different version of a side plank. Feel it here. Breathe. Coming all the way down. Let's do the other side. Bend opposite knee. Plant it down. Heel and shin. Backhand connect. Lift up. Reach up. Stretch through the fingers. Breathe. Exhale. Let yourself come all the way down. Nice work. Roll down onto your back. Knees come to chest. Stretch them to sky. Toes pull down towards you. Nice work. Good. Bend into the knees, plant the feet, and just bring the heels into the bum. Heels to bum, allowing yourself to just come into those hip lifts. So from this hip lift, just see if you can lift up as high as possible, opening the front body. Perhaps hands are going to lie back behind you. Front body reaching, knees together, not splayed apart. Breathe. So lift and lower 3 times into that pose. And if at any point you would like to do a wheel instead of just a little bridge, you go right ahead. I'm going to call this number 1. And number 2. If you're going in wheel, then you might choose to hold it for a minute. You can make the movement as small as it needs to be. You can hold it for as long as you need to. Breathe. So good. Hands come down. Knees come into chest, finding your dead bug pose. Knees finding armpits, tailbone reaching to floor. Palms flat to ceiling, choosing if your hands are at arches or calves or thighs. They can be in any of those places. Both the shoulders and the tailbone roll down towards the floor. Nice. Good work. Releasing that down. Your hands can open wide. Think of your shoulders staying nicely connected to the floor. Allow your knees to fall one direction. Breathing into the long extension that once again releases the side body. Twisting is essential to this idea of digesting, of transforming, of moving uncomfortableness out of the body. Yoga guides us to move in the sagittal plane, the transverse plane, and into rotation. Knowing that if we do all those things, we support breath moving into our cells. We support that fire of digestion, helping us process everything that we take in. So we come to the mat to just become an ally of transformation. Breathe. My knees lifted to center and they move to the other side. So do that now if you haven't yet. Bringing the knees back up to center. So just choosing for you what might feel right as a final rest. Feel the breath now. Notice anything that's changed since your first check-in at the beginning of this class. Perhaps it's the fluidity, the smoothness. Maybe it's the volume, the completeness. Just notice how you feel physically. Notice the inside of your mind. Has your movement and breath helped in any way to process what wasn't sitting right? You may also want to do that check-in at the heart. Did movement and breath at all support the transformation of discontent that sat around the heart? Moving from that ego mental state to the heart state. Just let yourself take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Can you feel yourself letting go? Exhale again. And maybe take another few exhales out the mouth. Just noticing if there is any way that this practice helped you process, transform, dissolve, and release anything, any emotion, any feeling, any niggly that sat in your body. Because that for me is what yoga is. That for me is why we come to the mat. Choosing now if you want to launch into a deeper meditation, maybe reaching over and just pressing stop on my voice. Alternately, just bringing movement back in, as small as you need it to be. Knees to chest, rolling on the back, maybe big stretches. Choosing when you're ready to bring yourself up to seated. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, for making the time, and for connecting with yourself. Because this is important work, and it feels even more essential now. I don't know for what reason, because it's always been important, but there is an urgency to our connection to ourselves right now. And so when I say namaste, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.